Most people say they don't care that much about money, but their lives tell a different story. They spend 8, 10, even 12 hours a day working for it. They spend more time chasing money than they spend with their spouse, their children, or in prayer and study of the Word. Then with the same mouth, they claim money isn't important. That contradiction is one of the quiet reasons so many never become rich. You cannot spend the majority of your life pursuing something and then pretend it does not matter. At the very least, we have to be honest. Money may not be the most important thing in life, but it is undeniably important. If you told a person, "I don't really care that much about you," how much time would they want to spend with you? Not much. Yet many people do that to money. They say, "I don't care about money," then wonder why it never stays, never multiplies, never flows to them. The problem is not that they care about money. The problem is that they are afraid to admit they care because of how others might judge them. So here's the truth. Money is not the thing you care about most, but you do care about it, and there is nothing wrong with that. You don't have to lie about it to appear spiritual by someone else's standard. Their standard is not the one you are called to live by, and yours is not the one they should live by either. The fear behind the lie is usually social. Many people are terrified of being judged. They worry that if they openly admit they want to be rich, others will label them greedy or worldly. So they try to sound pure by saying, "I'm not into money, I just care about spiritual things." But their schedule reveals the reality. They give more time to chasing money than they give to spiritual growth. They give more energy to earning than to reading, learning, or serving. It would be far more honest to say, "I care deeply about God, family, and purpose. But I also care about money because it affects all of those areas. It affects where my family lives, the kind of opportunities my children have, the level of generosity I can walk in, and the impact I can make." Honesty is the beginning of mastery. We live in a culture that is extremely fragile emotionally. People are offended by mere disagreement. Mention God or Jesus in the wrong environment, and someone is ready to fall apart. But your beliefs do not need universal approval to be valid. You do not need everyone around you to agree with your convictions for them to be true in your life. If the only time you feel confident about what you believe is when others agree with you, the problem is not their disagreement, it is your lack of internal certainty. Real belief can stand alone. You can believe something is true, even if you are the only one in the room who believes it. Applied to money, that means you must be willing to stand in this conviction. There is nothing inherently wrong with creating wealth. There is nothing wrong with being rich. The words rich, wealth, prosperity, and abundance are not dirty words. They are Bible words. Throughout Scripture, these words are often connected with blessing, stewardship, covenant, and impact more than with corruption or evil. That is an important clue. Wealth is not automatically ungodly. Wealth is a multiplier. It expands what is already in the heart. In the hands of a wise, principled person, wealth becomes a tool to serve, to build, to bless, and to advance what is good. The first step toward becoming rich is making peace with the idea that being rich is okay. It is okay to be rich even if your family is poor. It is okay to be rich even if your friends are not. Wealth does not make you morally superior, but it also does not make you inferior. It simply means you have more financial resources than they do. If you secretly despise wealth, you will never truly pursue it. You will never become what you resent. So the first internal decision is this: it is okay for me to be rich. Once that is settled, the second is just as important. Stop hating rich people. Now, once you make peace with wealth as a concept, the next step is just as critical. Stop hating rich people. Many people carry a quiet resentment toward those who have money. They look at wealthy individuals and assume they must have cheated, exploited, or taken something from others in order to prosper. They believe that the reason they are poor is because rich people are rich. This mindset is deadly to wealth creation. It positions prosperity as theft instead of as the result of value. Some will say, "I don't want to be rich. I'm not that greedy. I want there to be some left over for everyone else." This reveals a misunderstanding of how money and wealth work. Wealth is not a fixed pie where one person's slice automatically reduces everyone else's. We are not paid in life according to the resources around us. We are paid in proportion to our resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is the ability to see opportunity where others see nothing, to transform ideas into solutions, and solutions into products, and products into impact. It is resourcefulness that turns raw material, knowledge, or an idea into something that blesses others and generates income. If you want to be rich, you must become okay with wealth, release resentment toward those who have it, and then start doing the right things both for your money and with your money. When we say the right things, we do not mean morally right versus morally wrong in a general sense. We mean actions that are right for the purpose of creating wealth, not simply surviving. Many people claim they want to make a living. What they really mean is they want to maintain an existence. They follow the same routine every day. Today looks like yesterday. This week feels like last week. This year mirrors last year. Nothing compounds, nothing scales, nothing multiplies. Life becomes a repeating loop, a personal Groundhog Day. That loop is often the result of ignoring God's original command to humanity. Before the 10 Commandments, before complex religious rules, there was a foundational assignment. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion. Fruitfulness involves production. Multiplication involves increase. Replenishing involves restoration and stewardship. Subduing speaks of order, control, and mastery. Dominion speaks of leadership and responsibility. Wealth creation fits within this original mandate when approached with the right heart. To participate in that mandate financially, you must understand your economic purpose at a practical level. You are here to create, to connect, and to contribute. First, you create. Wealth begins when you develop solutions to real problems that other people face. Look for a group of people who are struggling with something in common. Identify the frustration, the inefficiency, the pain point. Then create a solution to that problem. That solution can take many forms: a product, a service, a book, a system, a program, a tool. Once you have it, you communicate clearly that you are willing to trade access to this solution for money. That is how value enters the marketplace. Consider the example of a book that distills years of knowledge into a clear, usable framework. It may take a year or a year and a half to write. The process may be more intense and time-consuming than any other book the author has created. But once the book exists, it becomes an asset. It sits in the world, solving a specific problem or opening a particular door of understanding for others. It might sell 400 copies in a single month and produce $19,000 in revenue. Yet the author only wrote it once. That is the power of creating an asset that continues to produce income long after the work to build it is finished. There are readers who take the ideas in that book, apply them to their businesses, and see tremendous results. One person may read it from a different country, in a different industry, and generate $800,000 within 3 months by implementing the strategies. That is the power of creation. The author wins because the book produces income. The reader wins because the ideas produce results. Everyone involved experiences increase. Second, you connect. It is not enough to have a brilliant solution if no one knows it exists. Connection is the process of bringing your value in front of the people who need it most. Every dollar you desire is currently in someone else's account. If you create something that genuinely helps people, and then learn how to reach them, communicate with them, and make an offer to them, many will gladly exchange their money for this transformation you provide. This might involve marketing, content, partnerships, platforms, or distribution channels. All of those are simply ways of connecting your solution with those who need it. Think of someone like Elon Musk. He recognized a rising desire for electric vehicles, cleaner technology, and innovation. He built a company to meet that desire and then made his electric vehicle patents open because his larger play was in the batteries and infrastructure. He sells cars directly to customers and batteries to companies that might appear to be competitors. In reality, many of them are collaborators in a larger ecosystem he benefits from. That is creation combined with connection at scale. Third, you contribute. Wealth, by design, is not meant to stop with you. When your needs are met and your life is stable, abundance gives you the opportunity to invest in others, to give, to sponsor, to support, to build, to uplift. God may bless you by yourself, but He does not bless you just for yourself. Contribution is where wealth becomes legacy. With those three pillars in place, create, connect, contribute, you can now apply what we can call the millionaire cash flow formula. The question is direct. How do you generate $1 million in a year? For most people, that amount of money would fundamentally shift their lifestyle, their options, and their capacity to give. While it is not impossible to earn that much at a traditional job, it is rare. Salaries are often constrained by corporate structures, roles, and budgets. So for most individuals, the path to $1 million in annual income is not simply climbing the job ladder. It is building a business designed specifically for wealth creation. To do that, you need to understand the difference between a service-based business and a product-based business. A service business sells time, expertise, or labor. A product business sells something that can be delivered independently of your ongoing time. Many people default into service businesses because they already know how to perform a service. They work in a service role, then decide to go out on their own doing the same thing. The challenge is that every time a service is sold, it must be fulfilled, and fulfillment consumes time. Time is the one resource you cannot expand. You can improve your skills, you can grow your network, you can increase your prices, but you cannot create more hours in a day. In a service business, you are effectively selling units of your own time. Since your time is finite, your income ceiling is tied directly to your capacity. That is a problem if your goal is to create serious wealth. In contrast, a product-based business separates income from time. Imagine selling a product like a book, a digital course, a software tool, or a physical item. Selling 1 unit or 400 units often takes similar effort in terms of listing, marketing, or processing. You can sell 100,000 units of a product to one customer or thousands of customers, and your time does not multiply at the same rate your revenue does. That is leverage. Take the earlier example of the book that sells for $30 and costs $10 to produce. The profit per copy is $20. A $20 profit does not sound life-changing by itself, but the millionaire cash flow formula is built on multiplication. At $20 profit per sale, selling 50,000 copies equals $1 million. That is the formula. Profit per unit multiplied by units sold. One book created once can keep producing sales every month, every year. If that same book opens the door for readers to step into higher value offerings, like courses, coaching, or masterminds, the true wealth potential becomes even greater. The book is no longer just a product, it is also a bridge. Now consider how simple the math can be when you adjust the price and perceived value. The same core knowledge that lives in a book can be expanded, deepened, structured, and delivered as a $200 audio program. At that point, you do not need 50,000 buyers. At $200 per sale, you only need 5,000 customers to reach $1 million. The work of moving a zero, increasing the perceived and real value, and changing the vehicle from a book to a more immersive training reduces the volume required. And if you elevate the offering again into a $2,000 online course, perhaps with more depth, live components, exercises, and community, you only need 500 buyers to cross $1 million in revenue. That is roughly 10 sales a week over a year, or 2 sales a day over a 5-day work week, with weekends and vacation time still available. The math remains elementary, but the implications are massive. The same expertise, packaged differently, can serve people at different levels of need and commitment while dramatically changing your personal income. Take the concept even higher, a $20,000 mastermind. This is a more intimate, intensive, high-touch experience for those who are ready to apply the concepts at a serious level. At $20,000 per participant, you only need 50 people in a year to generate $1 million. That is essentially 1 sale per week. Structurally, this can be a small group working with you over months, applying, implementing, and scaling their results. The transformation for them can be significant. The impact and revenue for you is equally significant. Beyond that, there can be elite, ultra-high-end offerings, like a $200,000 VIP day where a client spends focused, concentrated time with you designing strategies, restructuring their business, repositioning their offerings, or mapping an entirely new wealth path. Selling 5 of those in a year produces another $1 million. There are individuals who have introduced such an offer and sold multiple VIP days in the first month alone, and some of those clients have gone on to generate millions of dollars in additional revenue as a direct or indirect result of that day. Not every outcome is identical, but the pattern is clear. Value, packaged properly, can command prices that reflect the transformation it creates. When you hear these numbers, the natural impulse is to ask, who would ever pay me that? That is the wrong question at the beginning. That is a later stage question. It is like asking graduate-level questions when you have not yet started the foundational class. The more productive question at the start is this: what is the $20 level of value I can create that genuinely gives someone $200 worth of benefit? What problem can I solve so clearly and effectively that people feel they are getting far more than what they paid for? That is where you begin. The pattern in all of this is consistent. You create value for other people. You connect that value to the people who need it. You contribute back to the world from what you earn and what you learn. This is the essence of the millionaire cash flow formula: profit per unit multiplied by volume, guided by purpose, executed through value. The formula itself is simple. There is no mystery in the math. The complexity lies in the thinking required to design something that truly serves others at a high level. Thinking is the hardest work most people never do. Many will grind physically, work long hours, and stay busy with low-yield tasks just so they never have to sit still, face themselves, and architect a better approach. They will work hard to maintain a state of physical diligence so they can preserve a state of mental laziness. They will keep doing what is not working because it feels more comfortable than stopping, analyzing, and changing. Wealth is not reserved only for those born into it. It is available to those willing to think differently, act differently, and build differently. It belongs to those who are willing to tell the truth about what money means to them, make peace with the idea of prosperity, release resentment, align with the original command to be fruitful and multiply, create real solutions for real problems, and then do the simple math required to scale those solutions to the level of $1 million and beyond. This is the first formula. There are more ways to structure wealth, more strategies to compound it, more mental shifts that deepen it. But before any of those matter, this foundational pattern must be understood and practiced. Create, connect, contribute. Decide what you will offer, what it will cost, and how many people you will serve. Let this be your starting point, and then build from here with intention.